buffer that allows you to have something go wrong and you can still be on time. So being on time is just really, really important, especially as you get to the age where perhaps you're going for job interviews or you're meeting people that are important to you progressing in your life. Super important to be on time. There's no such thing as fashionably late. It's just very rude. Yeah, it's rude. It takes advantage of other people's valuable time. So if anybody wants to speak up and talk about that and mention, maybe you've not really thought about being late before or how that makes people perceive you, you can come off mute and we can talk about it. But I just wanted to mention that. What I left you with on Saturday, after we did the in the mirror exercise, was that while some of you were doing the in the mirror exercise, the rest of you were writing down your beliefs, your values, what's important to you. And then when the other group was in the mirror, the rest did their beliefs, values, and what's important to you. So that's where I want to pick up tonight is what did you learn about yourself as you started to think about your morals, your values, what's important to you? Does anybody want to talk about that?
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi.
Um, so I wrote some of my values and beliefs. But first I would like to you know, explain what they mean to me. So concerning my values, I believe that values are principles or standards that guides how we make decisions. And so I have five core values: um, honesty, respect, responsibility, kindness, and fairness. So the first one, honesty, I prefer always telling the truth and being sincere, especially when um faced with another person. Second one, respect, treating others with dignity, and responsibility. I like being around people who are accountable for whatever they say or do. Kindness, being helpful to others, and fairness, treating people justly and equally. And my beliefs, I also have five core beliefs. I believe I believe that beliefs are convictions that a person holds to be true or right based on culture, religion, experience. So my five core beliefs, first of all, I believe in God. Um I'm a religious person. Secondly, I believe that family is the most important thing in the world. Then, third, I believe that hard and smart work leads to success. I believe that everyone deserves equal rights, and I believe in the power of education.
Is this
Thank
David Is this David talking?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Wow. Um, I'm a little bit speechless at how eloquent you're speaking and how much thought you've put into this.
Thank you.
Yeah, like amazing. So, yeah, look at all the hearts. Like that's very, very well thought through, David.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, the reason I had you all do this is because especially at your age, when Christine set the guidelines for the age, 15 to 30, that can be an age range where we're deeply influenced by what other people think about us. And you can fall into doing things or going along with the crowd because you want to fit in. The thing about fitting in is usually it requires you to change something about yourself uh or to compromise your values or beliefs in some way to fit in. What we're really going for here is a sense of belonging, which doesn't require you to change anything about yourself. That's why we want to belong rather than fit in. And so this exercise of thinking about our beliefs, our core values, and what's important to us, I want it to be really front and center to what you think about when you're trying to fit in, and maybe that's asking you to do things that go against what you believe in. So I want you to really be aware of what's important to you, what your values and morals and beliefs are, so that you can say, you know what? I don't need to fit in this bad. I don't need to fit in if it means not being honest. I don't need to fit in if it means going against my belief in God. I don't need to fit in if it means, not doing well in school because I believe in the power of education, right? So that's why that exercise I think is so important right from a young age, is if you know what you stand for. There's a country song, and one of the lines in the song says, you have to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. And it's so true. We have to stand for something or you can fall for anything. But if you have that guidance, if you have that North Star that are your beliefs and your values, then that's like a GPS. It guides you. So that's why I wanted to do this exercise. And David, I couldn't have asked for a better, well thought through first example. So thank you very much for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Would anybody else like to share theirs and add a little bit of something to it, like talk about it a little bit?
Is it about our values? Okay, my values are God, because I'm a religious person. My family is important to me. My friends are important to me. My belief is that I believe that not everything will happen at the time you want it to happen. Some things might come late, just so that you can be prepared for it when it actually happens. I believe that I can accomplish my goal. So those are like my values and beliefs.
Yeah. Very good. And how do you think knowing what your beliefs and values are and what's important to you, how do you think that helps to guide your behaviors?
It helps to guide my behavior because I know that um in life, when the troubles are overwhelming, or I'm trying to like make a decision, I can stand by them. I can stand by what I believe, and I can stand by my values. Like now, when I'm choosing to like help someone I see that's struggling, I one of my values is always be kind to everybody, so that I can like help them instead of rather seeing them on the side of the road and just turning a blind eye. So that's how they kind of like help shape me.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I like that. So it's your beliefs and values are always reminding you of what is the right thing to do, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And even sometimes it might cause us a little bit of problems in our life when we stand up for what we believe in, but knowing your core values and your beliefs and feeling really confident about them is what will get you through the difficulties that it might bring into your life when you stand up to somebody and say, no, I'm not doing that. That's not kind. I'm not acting like that. Or sticking up for yourself if somebody wants you to be dishonest because that's what it takes to be included in the group, right? You can say, no, I believe in honesty and I'm not doing that. So yeah, so that was another, that's great. Thank you. This is good. Who else would like to share their values, beliefs, and what's important to them?
You could go. Hi, I just joined in late, and I'm sorry if you hear a background noise because I'm kind of outside, but I really want to be part of this.
Is this CK?
MK.
MK, yeah, your voice sounds just like you sound in person. Yeah, go ahead, MK.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear that. I hope it's not annoying noise though.
No.
Okay, great. So one thing I think I mentioned previously as well was kindness, a core belief I believe in, and as well as discipline, because I have not been disciplined, but I've been trying to incorporate that. So being kind and being disciplined, I think are two things that would never take you on any wrong way. They affect you positively, and I think in the past 2 days, I have just been thinking about these two as my core values because, regardless of circumstances or things, I would always want to stick to these two beliefs and put them as my priority because, even in the hardest times, if you are like that, the, I don't know, it's my belief, but karma will circle back and it would always be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Discipline isn't one that I hear too often. I wrote that down because that's very interesting. So again, when we talk about, newcomers and refugees or people new to this country, being able to settle in a positive way and feel like you belong here, you know, discipline is what carries you through when you aren't motivated, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling, just in a slump or you're sad or it's just one of those periods of time. Discipline is what gets you through. It's like you get up and you do it because that's what you have done and you're disciplined. So I really like that. I really like that. And being disciplined means that somebody else can't easily pull you off of your agenda, right? They can't pull you easily away from what matters to you. And that's I really like that word. I like what disciplined embodies. Who else would like to share? This is a great conversation. Who else would like to share about their values, beliefs, and what's important to you?
Lauren, I think I asked some of them to share in the chat box if they don't want to speak so that we can,
Yeah.
match time. And then so if they put in the
Okay.
chat box, then maybe just before the end of class, we could come back and read
Yeah.
them.
Okay. Yeah, I just looked in the chat. There's nothing there except your message. But yeah, that's a great idea, Christine. So in the meantime, let's talk about the online portion that you watched this week, and let's talk about some of the questions that I asked you to keep in mind as you watch that. So does anybody want to talk about what are some examples of professionalism and personal responsibility? And again, you can pop that in the chat, but it is easier and better, I guess, to have a voice conversation. But you know, to a large degree, how people accept you, or you know, is the more professional and polished you can be. Okay, MK, I was wondering if we are talking about personal responsibility in the workplace. Yes, but not just the workplace. So personal responsibility could spill over to, you know, friends, school, family. You know, for example, before you popped on, MK, I was talking about the importance, the real importance of being on time. You know, that's a personal responsibility, you know, to decide to not disrespect people's time by being chronically late is really important, because it just sets such a poor first impression, for example. So by personal responsibility, I meant in all aspects of life. Thank you for that clarification. Does anybody want to take a stab at what examples of professionalism and personal responsibility would be?
Examples are like accountability, honesty, integrity, respectfulness, punctuality, competence, and loyalty.
Yeah. Who was that speaking?
Miles Emmanuel.
Very good. Yeah. No, that's excellent.
Oshana had his hand up. Oshana, you want to share yours?
Yes, please.
Yes.
I think one is like showing up on time.
Yeah. Yeah. Being on time that's one of mine that's at the very top of my list, is being on time. Because, and maybe let's talk about that for just a moment. Some people think that being late is not a big deal, and some people are chronically late people. But let's think about this for a moment. If you're somebody who always strives to be on time or a little bit early, and so you prioritize that, and you plan your day or your time around being on time for somebody else, and then you sit there and you wait for them, and you wait some more, don't you feel that that's very disrespectful for them to be late? If you took the time to plan on being early, you know, and prioritizing being there on time for that person, does it not seem disrespectful for somebody to show up late with no reason other than they're just always late? So I would like young people to view being on time as a respect thing. I'll be very honest. If somebody in my life is chronically late, I do not set up appointments with them anymore. I do not let myself have somebody who is always late when I put so much effort into being on time, because I think it's respectful. And so you don't want people thinking that you're disrespectful by always being late, or for being late if there's not a real solid reason why. I'm just looking at the chat. Yeah, MK's talking about professionalism is being present in the moment, not just listen to people, but also be able to comprehend the message they're trying to put through. So really listening to people, being an active listener. What tell me what you feel about the whole being on time thing, or what it says about you if you're late. And anybody have any thoughts about that? No? Okay. So let's talk about netiquette. What is netiquette? Netiquette. Internet etiquette.
Netiquette is like internet guidelines that advise individuals on how to communicate and treat others when interacting online.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. So tell me what you learned about putting yourself out there on the internet, whether you're attending a class, attending a meeting, attending some sort of little social group, or applying for a job, or all those things, or in a chat group, or with friends. What did you learn are some of the really important things about conversing with people on the internet? What netiquette did you learn from that video?
It helps with interacting with people.
Yeah, like again, being on time, if something starts at 7, let's say, really important, unless there's a reason, really important to be on time, have your background set up, have yourself ready so that you're not disrupting other people. That's a big thing when it comes to etiquette, which is all etiquette means is it is a standard, a guideline that teaches you how to act in various situations. So online etiquette is just how do you act in a polished professional manner on the internet. So for example, dressing appropriately, showing up looking like you would if you were showing up in person. Or if you're the host of let's say a class like this, if you're the one hosting it, being the first one on, testing the technology, making sure that everything's working properly, welcoming your guests or your students as they come on. So all of those things are manners for the internet. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Then we
yes.
have two hands
Yes,
up.
ma'am.
Yes,
We have
ma'am.
David and Zara with their hands up. So David, you want to go?
Yeah.
Um, actually, I couldn't really access the videos. So for most of them, I just researched about them. So
Okay.
from Netiquette, what I got was like it's a blend of network and etiquette. So what it does is that it helps people to be polite and respectful in emails, comments. It teaches people to, if you can, always mostly avoid all caps, like because it can seem like you're screaming, especially in argumentative um in an argumentative situation or topic, and don't spam or send unnecessary messages. Respect others' privacy. Don't share their information without their permission. And the use of proper grammar and punctuation to avoid misunderstandings.
Yeah, no, that's good. Also, another thing with regard to email is make sure that your email suffix is appropriate. Like, how your email address. Mine is Lorraine@youaredeveloping.com. So that's what I mean by your email suffix. And, because some people have the same email that they've had since they were young. So just make sure that as you go into adulthood, your email suffix is respectful and a good reflection of who you are as a teenager or an adult. So that's always a good thing to check. And also, yes, keep communication respectful and, not using profanity, bad words, that kind of thing. And, etiquette, generally speaking, just means consider the other person first. So before you go online, before you send a text, before you send an email, just stop for a moment and think, how is this going to be received by the other person? Am I being kind? Am I being clear? Am I being respectful? So that's really all etiquette means. If you stop and think for a minute, how would the other person like to be treated? Well, they'd probably like me to be on time. They'd probably like me to be prepared. They'd probably like me to be respectful and concise. So when we think about etiquette, whether it's online or in person, it's really just stop for a moment and think about the other person. Does that make sense that etiquette is really kind of that simple?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if we just take that moment to think about the other person. There's a few things in the chat. Let me see. CT was saying, according to my video, an example of personal responsibility would be switching off your phone or letting them know if you're expecting a call. Oh my goodness, that is such a good one. We're in a generation now, 2 generations, I guess, that don't know life without smartphones. And so I know it's like a part of your body, but as human beings, we still have that feeling that as soon as that phone is in somebody's hand, or as soon as that phone rings, automatically that person that you were engaging with feels less important, like they are not the primary focus. And so if you're in a meeting, or you're going for a job interview, or you're going for a volunteer position, or you're in school, like, please check your phone, turn the ringer off, so that you're not getting calls. Please don't accept calls while you're engaging with somebody else, because what that means is, oh, you're not important. As soon as that phone rings, that's where my priority is. And so again, think about etiquette. How does that make the other person feel? So just being aware of phones is really important. Thanks for that, CT.
So before you go to the next chart, we have Zara. She's had her hand up for a while. Zara,
Oh,
you have the floor now.
yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Zara. Can you speak up, please?
Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what you said in the video, you mentioned that when we're online, the internet kind of makes us remove responsibility because we're behind the screen. And it's important that we understand that there's someone behind the screen and we're not just talking to like blank faces. So we should be careful about what we say to other people online. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a big one. Thanks for that, Zara. You're right. Keeping it in mind that there are real people on the other end of the keyboard and the camera, and to extend all of the same courtesy and kindness and respect that you would if you were face to face with somebody. If I was face to face, would I say that to that person? If I was face to face, would I insult that person? If I was face to face, would I say something really nasty about them? Probably not. So, yeah, that's a really big one. Thank you. And I also want to read a message in the chat about your values of love and empathy and purpose and godliness. My beliefs are God, always trying and not letting fear of failure stop me. It's better to try and fail than to not to try at all. Everyone deserves kindness, hard work. Don't take things you have for granted. Those are all wonderful guiding principles, Sarah. Thank you. Chidima says having a positive attitude is a good attribute. Netiquette refers to a set of rules that guide how we should behave online. Examples would be treating others as you would treat them in person. That's what we just talked about. Using Appropriate and respectful language. Yeah, very good. Anybody else want to chime in about online manners? Okay, let's go to listening. This is the big one. Listening can really change your life. Listening can make you that person that other people feel really, really good around, and they're not even quite sure why. We call it charm. Good listeners are charming people. They make you feel heard and seen, and it can really set you apart as you come into adulthood and you're finding, you know, your careers and going to university or just being around different people. Being a good listener is a game changer. It's a game changer. I've seen it in my own life. Once I learned about effective listening and being a better listener, I can tell you that when you listen to somebody, not to think about how you're going to respond, but you're just listening to them. And then the next time you see them, maybe at a networking event or a school function or church or wherever, and you say to that person, oh, the last time I saw you, you were going through this or that, and you remember, they're like, nobody remembers, like nobody, because people these days don't listen. So if you're a listener, you really positively impact how people see you. And here's the thing, being a really good listener makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. So what did you learn about listening and why it's important?
It is important to be a good listener because it really shows the person that you're actually like listening to what they're saying instead of just letting them speak to like a blank wall or something like that.
Yeah. You know, because if we really think for a moment, you know, what we're doing in this course that Christine's created, it is about helping people new to the country feel accepted, feel like they fit in, be successful, build a life in a community here in Canada or New Brunswick. And listening is a big part of that, because when you meet somebody and you build that rapport, that initial relationship where they feel comfortable around you and they feel like you heard what they said and you cared, that's the thing. When you're a good listener, it tells people that you care. And that's a great way to build relationships. It takes a long time to build relationships, especially in Canada. Canadians like their space, and Canadians, building a relationship happens over a long period of time. I'm going like this because it's a stretched out event. It takes a long time to really have a relationship with somebody. And so listening goes a long ways to making people feel heard and seen, and they will like you for that. And plus, it's a really good quality to have, to be a listener, instead of listening just long enough to say, oh, I'm going to say this back to them. No, just listen. Anybody else learn anything about the importance of listening?
We have Zara with raised hand, and after Zara, Ojudu Emmanuel next.
Okay. Go ahead, Zara.
Okay, from the actor.
I think she's distracted in the background. So maybe Emmanuel can go, then when Zara comes back.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. The reasons why listening will have great impressions on people is because it fosters social connections, It enhances well-being and improves trust and job performance in various contexts. It provides a safe space for speakers to share their message without judgment. So it's like help them. They'll be free with you. They will know that they can trust you, they can talk to you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really good. Listening helps to establish connection, trust, and a good listener is perceived at not being judgmental, right? If you're just listening and responding. And that's another thing, a good listener has a certain kind of body language. So a good listener will give cues that they're listening without saying anything. For example, like nodding your head or going, mm-hmm. And giving the leaning in. Leaning in is a really strong body language that I'm listening to you, I'm engaged, I hear what you're saying. And those things can put people at ease and make them feel comfortable. So, just being aware of the body language of a good listener is also a way to establish a connection with somebody and start the basis of a relationship. And so, yeah, listening is a really important thing. Do we have Zara back?
Zara, are you there?
Yeah, I'm back.
She's back.
Okay.
So I was gonna say from the video, you mentioned that if you want to be an active listener, that you have to listen until you don't exist. And you said we should listen by stripping away like all distractions and everything about you, like your physical distractions and your personal distractions, and just focus on that person while they're talking and commit to giving them your full attention.
Bravo. That was one of the things I really wanted everybody to pick up on from the video, is this notion of listening until you don't exist. So many people, and think about yourself. I know sometimes I can be the same way, that somebody's talking and you're thinking about your homework. You're thinking, oh my gosh, did I feed the cat before I left the house? Did I unplug the toaster? Oh, I have to go and get groceries. Oh my goodness, I have to go visit my Nana. Oh, I forgot to take out the garbage, right? Like, all of us do that. So when I say in the video, thanks Zara for you really listened to that. Listen until you don't exist means keep getting rid of all of the distractions, your mental distractions, your physical distractions, like the clutter on your desk or whatever, until all that's left is you and the person that you're listening to. No distractions. Full attention on the people, the person that is that's talking to you. Sharon has her hand up.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
I wasn't in the last class, but I do have something to share.
Yes.
I understand that listening is really important in showing that you remember the person's name. You shouldn't finish people's sentences for them when you're speaking, because that shows that you're really paying attention to what they're trying to say. And like you said, leaning in, making eye contact, nodding, and generally just putting your personal stuff off your mind and really paying attention to what they're saying.
Yeah. And people can, like, think about yourself. When someone's not listening to you. You can tell. Even if they're trying to pretend they're listening, you can tell when somebody is giving you their undivided attention. And so really try to be that person that is being genuinely a good listener, because people can tell. Just like people can tell if you're being genuine and really mean something. People can feel feel the vibe, the energy. So try to be genuine and try to be a good listener that, as you said, puts your distractions aside. You can always pick them up later after you're done the conversation. But yeah, be a good listener. Yeah, eye contact was another thing, you know, as well as, you know, leaning in and going, like those subtle verbal cues that you're listening, but also the eye contact is really important. Anybody else pick up anything about the listening? Okay. And so we've touched on why does listening well make a good impression on other people? So I think we've covered that. You know, people feel seen and heard. People, you know, feel that they can confide in you, that you're not judging them. You're not rushing them along by finishing their sentences. So, you know, listening, being a good listener just makes people feel good. And again, if we go back to the basic principles of etiquette, it's how do you make another person feel? That's what it all comes down to, is how did I make somebody feel? If you take that into consideration in everything that you do, you're going to have strong relationships, lasting relationships, and a successful life if you consider other people before you do or say things. That doesn't mean that you have to be, you know, paranoid about everything you do in case somebody doesn't like it. That's not what I mean. What I mean is just being considerate. There's a difference between being considerate and trying to please everybody. There's two different things. But baseline consideration for other people is what I like to teach. You know, what I am about to say or do, how is that going to be for someone else? You know, like holding the door for people, basic manners and respect, saying please and thank you, excuse me, I'm sorry, thank you, opening the door for somebody, giving up your seat on the bus for an elderly person. Like, there are just some things that are baseline considerations and and good etiquette. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Those are the things that I think are really important as we try to build a community and find that place where we belong and are like-minded people, is, you know, building a foundation of being a good, considerate person. Let me check the chat here. Yeah. David said it makes a listening, I think he's talking about, makes a good impression because it shows you are respectful, trustworthy, thoughtful, smart, and focused, easy to talk to, character-wise. That's very good, David. Very good. You're very good with words, David, by the way. I'm just saying. Yeah, you're very good with words. So we're 10 to the hour almost. Tell me, what else did you think about Saturday's class, and kind of what did you walk away with? Because we remember it was really all about building confidence, right? And by extension, being successful. So what did you walk away with from Saturday? And then as you watch the video, what did you get from that?
I got that we should have confidence. We should always feel positive about ourselves. We should not let someone have authority over us. We should believe in ourselves. We are capable to accomplish anything if we put quitting off the table. She is telling us that we should just not quit. No matter your decisions, take quitting off your options. and you should not let yourself be the reason why you quit. Thank you.
Thank you. Sometimes I love hearing my words come back to me. Sometimes it tells me I have to change what I'm saying, but sometimes it tells me I'm saying exactly the right thing. That's amazing. And that's what I want for all of you throughout this 8 weeks is I want you to feel like you have a little bit of a toolbox, like a carpenter or a plumber or an electrician. You have a toolbox that you're going to be able to carry around with you that says, I can do this. I can do what I want to do because I learned these foundational principles, or Lorraine and Christine made me aware that, you know, my beliefs and my culture and my values, you know, are worth honoring. And, you know, I'm not going to settle or compromise what I believe in or what I want for myself. So that's what this is all about, is helping you get a strong voice, feeling confident to speak up on your own behalf, be proud of your voice, your accent, the country that you came from. And if you encounter people who don't like that or don't respect that, that you have the tools and the confidence to move on and find the people who do. That's what I want for you, is that you have the tools for self-confidence that allow you to rise above any negativity that you encounter. That's my job. And to hear you saying back to me some of those tools that we talked about on Saturday, it makes me feel really, really good. Does anybody else want to say what they got out of Saturday in terms of being more confident?
What I got from Saturday is that confidence can bring you like somewhere you've never dreamed of. And that you should never quit no matter what.
Never quit. If you really want to do something and you really love something, you don't let anything or anybody make you quit. And like I said before, and somebody's already mentioned this, never quit on yourself. You know, life is hard enough. Life is going to bang you up a little bit, I promise. But don't you be the one to bang yourself up. Keep going no matter what. That's a big one. And believe that you can do it. Find ways to make yourself believe that you are able to do those things that you want to do. It's called the receipts. Let's find the receipts. What in my life suggests that I can do this? Go looking for the receipts. Yeah. Anybody else want to talk about what you got from Saturday?
The one thing that I got was it's important to have confidence, but it's also important to give courage the enough power to let you be confident. I don't know if I made sense, but this happened right after the next day. Was me and my friends were somewhere, and we were we were kind of jumping from a high place, high altitude, and we were just these guys were so afraid to jump. All I told them was kind of similar things that you said to us, but I just said it in my own words, just saying that just start, take that courage in you and just start. Take one step. It's okay. You'll just jump and you'll be fine. And once you jump and you land, the confidence that you will have because of that courage would be amazing. And I I actually did this to myself this week. I booked myself for skydiving on my birthday. So when I go for it, I am going to remember exactly this thing. Okay, Yeah, I know that was kind of stupid, but yeah.
That's not stupid at all. And you got exactly what I meant, MK. It was the courage before confidence. You know,
Yes.
that whole idea that we're not born with confidence. Confidence is not given to you. You gain it by doing things. And sometimes the only way to do things that you've never done before is to have the courage to take the first step.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you got that message and you passed it on to other people already. That's my legacy. That's what I'm doing here. And now you're doing it.
Yes, for sure. So that was one of the key lessons that I learned and I loved it. I told my dad about it, and my dad was kind of upset that because he's been saying me the same thing the whole life, but I would not listen to him. So, but he's glad I got it. So, yeah.
That's what every parent goes through. I have children too, and I will say things to them like I'm a confidence expert. Yet they don't listen to me, but they'll come home and tell me that somebody else said something exactly like I said it, and they were like, I don't remember you saying that. That's funny. Thanks very much. That was awesome. Yeah, so you guys are building this toolkit already of of like confidence tools that are going to go through life with you now, and you can use them. You can pull them out and say, oh, today's the day I need courage. I'm scared, but I just need to take the first step. You know, oh, today I need to, you know, mind my internet manners. I want to build a good relationship. I want to be seen as professional and kind. I need to pull out that tool. So think of it that way. Think of this 8 weeks as this amazing big toolkit. Like you carry it around with you. Oh, I can use this tool today and this one tomorrow. Does anybody else have anything to add about what you learned from Saturday? Because sometimes when you have time to think about something, you're like, oh yeah, you're like, that really resonated with me. Anybody else have anything to add?
One thing I learned was from when we were doing that challenge about where you say something that if you can wave a wand and you can change one thing about yourself, that what would it be? One thing I learned is that there are some things we just have to accept because like we can't change them. Either we were born with it or we just can't change them at all. And another thing I learned is the other, another thing I took home is they're saying that is what you said, fake it till you make it. And another one I learned is the internet is the biggest liar because it creates so much fake standard for people to follow rather than just accepting the way like they look. Instead they want to like look like how the internet has made everybody like
Yeah,
copy and paste. And that's
100%.
really the thing.
Yeah, remember we talked about, you know, the guy that shoots the basketball from the other end of the court and it goes in and
Yeah.
you know, and that gets millions of views, but what we don't see are the 300 or 400 times he tried and failed. That's kind of, yeah, so the whole idea of of believing in yourself and, you know, how you can fake it till you make it, right? You can. And that it's important to believe in yourself. Those are all, again, amazing tools. I just have to say, before I turn it over to Christine, you guys have been so engaged. I don't ever think I've dealt with a group of people of any age who are this engaged, Christine.
I know, right? This is an exceptional set, and I'm really very proud that we get a chance to work with them for these 8 weeks. You know, and before you wrap up, Lorraine, I just wanted you to get a chance to like introduce yourself, like for a minute or two, because we have some students who are joining for the first time. So they missed Saturday's class. So some of them let me know that, but they're here and they want to know, who is this beautiful lady talking to me about confidence? They don't know you. They've not met you. They've not encountered you, but I'd like them to meet you, if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
Thanks. Okay, for everybody who didn't meet me on Saturday, hi, I'm Lorraine Peters, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Christine since 2017, and she's been gracious enough to bring me into her program. And so I'm a lot of things, but when you boil down what I do and what I've done for 38 years is I'm a confidence expert. I teach people how to walk and carry themselves with confidence, how to be successful in the world, and how to achieve the things, the goals they want to achieve in life. So I do it in a multitude of ways, but if you boil it all down, I'm a confidence expert. And my hobbies are pageantry and modeling, and I still do that at the ripe age of 60. And I love everything about just trying to be the very best that you can be in your life. But most of all, I like teaching other people how to do that too.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I just want to thank you again for the opportunity to share with our students this evening. And for everyone who joined in tonight, I hope you had a very inspiring and enlightening moment with Lorraine. It's always a pleasure to listen to her share her stories, her talent, and her knowledge every time we encounter her. And if you want to learn more about everything that she has to offer in her toolkit, please join us this Saturday again in person at the Union Station office. It's from 12 to 3 p.m. So please keep a date with us and come with all your questions, and then we'll see what we can do together. So thanks again for choosing to invest in yourself during this summer. And I can tell you confidently that this investment is one of the best you can ever do in your life. And it's going to be a foundation to many great things you can achieve in life. And so please take it as seriously as you would take your schoolwork or your job, because the hours we're using to provide these things, like this is evening, Lauren could be sleeping or just like, lounging in her couch. I could be doing the same, but we choose to be here with you. And so because you showed up, we want to make sure that you get the best from us. So we look forward to seeing you this Saturday and next Wednesday and every other time that is assigned for this training session. So thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
And if anybody wants to follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I talk a lot about confidence and success. So you might pick up some extra stuff there.
Absolutely. In all your emails, Lorraine is copied. If you have any personal questions you want to reach out to her, please reach out to her by email and follow her on social media as well. For those of you with phones, and you can follow her and see the updates she's sharing constantly and learn more outside the classroom. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night,
you.
everyone. Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
You're welcome.
Good night.